am enough. I am Sarah LaJoy, and this is Becoming, a space for the woman who's been everything but seen. If you're figuring it out in real time, you're in the right place. Let's become together. Okay, so lately I've been sitting with this thought. Maybe I was made more for assignments than friendships. And that sentence had been heavy on me. And it's not that I don't want friends, I crave real connection, the kind that feels safe, consistent, and mutual. Spaces where people come to me with broken pieces and I help them rebuild. And when they stand again, they walk away. And I don't say that to sound bitter, it's just real. Sometimes I'm the bridge in somebody's story. I help them cross, and then I'm left standing there and wondering if anybody will ever cross back for me. And that pattern, it can make you question yourself. Like, am I too emotional? Am I too deep? Am I too much? And maybe it's not that I'm too much. Maybe they just weren't enough for what I carry. That showed up in my own house too. If you know me, you know I go all out for my husband and my kids' birthdays, holidays, little surprises here and there. I'm the planner, the decorator. I'm the one making it all special. But year after year, my birthday came around and nobody really ever showed up for me. No cake, no dinner, no thought out surprises, just last minute gifts, if that. And what made it heavier is that my birthday shares this as the day my daddy passed away. So that day already carries enough weight. And I used to make excuses for everybody. They didn't mean it. They're busy. It's fine. Whatever. They're mourning also. But one year, I was 29 and I finally said it's enough. And that's the year I decided I'm not waiting to be celebrated anymore. And I started showing up for me finally. And now I celebrate my birthday whenever I want. I don't care if it's October the 12th, December the 31st. If I want to celebrate me, it's my birthday. I let enough years pass me by thinking I wasn't worth the effort. And that moment, it taught me something deeper. Sometimes it's not that people don't love you, they just love you in ways that don't feed you. And you have to learn how to feed yourself. I've I've learned I attach meaning to connection. If I care about you, I care. I check in, I remember the little stuff. Hell, I pray for you in private. I celebrate your wins like they're mine. And when that energy isn't matched, it stings. Because I don't just meet people, I give them a piece of me. And when that piece goes unseen, it hurts. And not because I expected perfection, but I just expected them to show up. You ever replayed a conversation and wondered if you cared too loudly? Yeah, I've been there. But here's what I'm realizing. When you love with depth, you got to stop expecting everybody to know how to swim there. And sometimes I feel guilty for wanting connection. It's crazy, right? I'll type the message out, read it a couple of times, and then I'll delete it. And not because I don't want to talk, but because I don't want to feel like I'm bothering somebody. And that's when you know you've been the strong friend for too long. You start apologizing for needing what you give so easily to everybody else. You start making excuses for why people don't show up when deep down you know they just don't. And that guilt, baby, is sneaky. It convinces you that isolation is safer than disappointment. So you stop reaching out, you stop asking, stop expecting, and little by little, you stop letting people see you. People love to call you strong until they realize strong doesn't mean unbreakable. Strong just means you learned how to carry what would have crushed somebody else. After a while, you start noticing people come for your light, not your heaviness. They come for your comfort and not your truth. And baby, that's lonely as hell. Strength without softness is exhausting. Strength without softness is exhausting. And I'm done performing okay just to make people feel comfortable. What I've learned is the way I overextend in friendships is the same way I overextend in relationships. The same pattern, just a different name on the phone. I fix what ain't mine. I hold spaces for people who don't ever ask if I got any space left. And I keep showing up for people who only remember me when they need something. And when I finally get quiet, they notice. And it's not because they miss me. It's because they miss my effort. They miss my light. They miss my joy. And if I stop doing everything and everything falls apart, that means I was the only one holding it together. And that's not love, honey. That's labor. Love shouldn't feel like a shift you can't clock out from. It should feel safe and not stressful. It should stretch you, not drain you. I can't keep calling it love when it keeps feeling like labor. That's not partnership, that's performance. And baby, I'm clocked out. I don't want the overtime. If it costs me my peace, then it's too expensive. If I have to keep proving I deserve it, it's not love. Real love shows up. Real love, it feels like home. And let's talk about something else I'm learning. Sometimes we start acting small to make other people feel comfortable. We dim our joy, quiet our opinions, and lower our standards, all just to keep peace in spaces that never protected ours. But peace that requires pretending is not peace, it's performance. And baby, I do not perform anymore. If I'm shrinking, it's not humility, it's self betrayal. And I refuse to betray myself to be liked, loved, or even tolerated. One night, I was laying there, phone in my hand, typing out a message that I never sent. I had so much I wanted to say, how much I missed them, how much I wish things could go back. But something in me said, girl, put the phone down. So instead of sending that message, I just prayed. I told God, if they're not supposed to stay, give me the peace about letting them go. And baby, that next morning, I woke up feeling so much lighter. Sometimes closure doesn't come from a person, it comes from peace. And that moment changed me. It taught me that silence isn't punishment, sometimes it's protection. Sometimes God closes the conversation because He knows that you'll just keep reopening what's already finished. And when I think about assignments versus friendships, now I see it so much clearer. Assignments come with a need, and friendships, they come with balance. Assignments, they teach you, and friendships, they will always nourish you. And God's been showing me the difference. He'll send people for a season, not a lifetime, and I used to take that very much personal. But sometimes their exit was His protection. And not every connection is meant to continue. Some come to shift you, some come to wake something up in you, or to show you what you won't tolerate again. That doesn't mean the love wasn't real, it just means the purpose was temporary. So instead of asking what I did wrong, I thank God for the lesson and I let it go. You ever scroll back through old texts with somebody that you don't talk to now? No drama, just distance. And reading, you can feel who you were back then. That version of you that needed the connection. But this version, baby, she's healed. She's found her peace elsewhere. And that's growth. Sometimes growth looks like missing people who can't meet you where you've evolved. And these days, when I start missing people, I ask myself, do I miss them or do I miss how I felt being needed? Because being needed and being nurtured are not the same. And what I thought was a friendship was purpose in disguise. What I called love was labor I kept calling effort. If it cost me, baby, the price is too high. And now I want love that feels like exhale, friendships that feel like rest, and people who don't punish me for having boundaries. Spaces where I don't have to explain what showing up means. I want what's mutual, honest, and kind. And if it don't fit that, I can call it love and still leave it. And that's okay. Because not everything broken is mine to fix. And not every silence means I'm alone. Sometimes it's just God giving me peace back in pieces. And I'm learning that peace is a full sentence. Soft does not mean small. And boundaries do not make me cold. They keep me whole. I don't need perfect people. I just need present ones. And I'm not begging to belong anymore. Baby, if this episode hit home, drop a heart in the comments and let me know what part spoke to you. And say this here with me. I released a version of me that loved one-sided. I'm no longer performing peace for people who only bring me pressure. I deserve connections that don't compete with my peace. And from here on out, love has to feel like rest. remember, every voice I share, every story I tell, is so she walks away with something. You are enough, and I love y'all real bad, real bad.